Alden Weeks.
I bet you thought you got rid of me this morning, but I'm back. So this summer, okay, first off, I'm Alden. I am going to be a senior. For the new teachers, welcome. So excited to have you. Mr. Foster, excited to have you. I told him that I ran off our last assistant principal, so good luck this year. So pretty much, I spent the past 9 weeks in Fort Worth, Texas, teaching at a program called Breakthrough Collaborative. Breakthrough Collaborative is a national program, and they have sites all over the country. And their mission is pretty much to serve high-performing, low-income students in really low-performing schools. So I was working with kids from ISD, or Fort Worth ISD, Fort Worth Independent School District, and they serve about 12 middle schools. Whenever kids sign up for Breakthrough, it's a six-year commitment. So they get tracked from 6th grade to graduation, but in the summers going into 7th, 8th, and 9th grade, they come to summer school for 6 weeks. It's really, really awesome. They get to take classes that they're going to take. So if you're going into 9th grade, going to take geometry, you get to come in for the summer, learn some basics in geometry, so whenever you get into that classroom, you're already kind of knowing what's going on, and you can be really high performing. They bring in 25 college and high school students from all over the nation to come in and teach these kids. So I was teaching with people from Ohio State, TCU, University of Arkansas, OU, Purdue, Vanderbilt, everywhere. 25 teachers came in this year, and we served 130 kids. So how it kind of looks is you have 2 weeks of training, so doing things like what you're about to do right now, and I pray for y'all because I know this is not fun. And it was not my most favorite part, but it was really beneficial. So I got to learn, like, what does active participation look like in a classroom? How can I improve classroom culture by what I'm doing and how I'm teaching? What does gradual release on a topic look like with kids? So it was really, really good information that I got to learn about. And then I had 6 weeks in my own classroom teaching. I was in charge. I had 25 students. I loved every second of it. It was amazing. It was a great learning experience. But it was just me, 17-year-old Alden Weeks from Arkansas, teaching some kids, and it was great. And it was scary. Honestly, I was scared. I have so much respect for what you do. I had to lesson plan. I had to make packets. I had to make PowerPoints. I had to do all of these things, and I'm like, I shouldn't be this old right now, but I had to step up and be responsible, and I loved it. And then your 9th week is wrap-up week, where you do paperwork, and you clean your room out, and you collect all your material and make sure it's back in the supply room, or you get in a lot of trouble. So it was great. I actually taught 8th and 9th grade math. I had one class of geometry kids that were high-performing 8th graders, and then like mid-level 9th graders. And then I taught one class of Algebra 1, Part 1, and it was awesome. So my biggest takeaway from this experience was the importance of coffee. I'm totally kidding, but that is really important. 5:30 in the morning is not fun, but honestly, no, my biggest takeaway was the influence of teachers on students. I noticed in my teaching how much you guys influenced me. I would say corny things like, I'm a cowboy, I don't round up on your grades, like Mr. Mack. And I would have mannerisms on the board, or my PowerPoints would look a lot like teachers I've had in the past. And so, thank you for being really great influences on me. But then I also noticed how much I influenced my kids. I learned that my kids are a direct mirror of what I did. If I was super excited about what we were going to learn, they were super excited about what we were going to learn. If I was not feeling it that day, they weren't going to really listen to what I had to say. So they were a direct mirror, and if I saw that they were slacking, I knew I had to be like, all right, let's go. Let's do some proofs in geometry. Not fun, but we did it. And then I also really learned about we have a rule at Breakthrough called the 100% rule, and I didn't realize what 100% was until I taught in a classroom. 100% preparation every single day, 100% participation, being active, giving it everything I had. I would go home and I would be asleep by 8 o'clock every single night because my brain was just fried. And I know y'all are like, I know, girl, I know, but I'm looking back at it like, dang, I did it for 9 weeks, you do it for a whole year, so bless you, because I don't know if I could do it, but I'm gonna try. So I want to share a really quick story about one of my favorite students. I know teachers aren't supposed to have favorite students, but I did, and I'm not ashamed to say it. This girl was really amazing. Her name was Sadie Judd, and Sadie Judd was going to be entering the 9th grade in Fort Worth ISD school or school district. And she came into my classroom, my geometry class, and it was 8th and 9th graders from all different middle schools, all different teams. They didn't really know each other. And she kind of sat in the back, and she was quiet, and she kind of looked sad, and she was really like our classroom culture was awkward, I'm gonna be honest. Nobody knew each other. It was strange. But she came in there, and she just kind of sat in the back and kept to herself. And I was like, oh, it's the first week, it's the second week. She just hasn't opened up. It's okay. She'll open up. It'll be great. And we have family conferences in the middle of our term, just like you guys would do. And we had this family conference, and Sadie's mom came in with Sadie, and we were like, what's going on? Like, why aren't you like opening up? Because it was happening in our other classes as well. And her mom informed us that in the past 3 months before she had started Breakthrough, she lost her grandma, which was like a really big inspiration to her. And her mom was diagnosed with breast cancer, and she was having to take her mom from treatment to treatment. She was just having a really, really tough time at home, and it was affecting her in school. And so I decided, because I loved this girl. I didn't know what it was about her, but I just really, really loved this girl. And I decided that on my to-do list that I made every day, the top thing I was going to do was to make Sadie Judd smile, because I knew that she needed some type of positivity in her life. And so I did that, and Sadie and I became best friends. Sadie wants to be a director when she grows up, and so she loved talking about books and movies and things like that. And so I would go up to her if she was kind of looking sad in my class. I'd be like, hey, I need you, whenever you get done with your homework, write me down a list of movies I need to watch this weekend, because I'm going to be really bored grading papers and I want something to do. And she would make me a list of movies, and I have all of her lists in my box from Breakthrough. And so she would always give me little reviews and things like that, and we got to click in. At the end of Breakthrough, they have what's called Celebration, and it's like a big program where parents and families and friends can come and see what these kids have done all year. And Awkward Quiet Sadie won the 9th grade speech contest and got to speak at the end of Breakthrough. And needless to say, I was sitting on the front row bawling my eyes out the whole time. Sadie talked about how she had never had a teacher or any like staff or anything like that ask her what she wanted to be whenever she grew up, and she was going into the 9th grade. Nobody would talk to her about her interests or things that she liked outside of school until this year. And whenever she talked about it, she was talking about me, and I just freaked, because that was my girl, and that was the person that needed me the most at the time. And it wasn't about geometry, it wasn't about proofs, it wasn't about angles, it was about a positive environment for this child so she could learn and feel valued and important. So she wrote me a letter, and I want to read it to you real quick because it's really great and it makes me happy. Okay, so it says, Dear Alden, thank you for making my least favorite subject fun. I've never liked math, nor most of my math teachers, but lucky you, you're awesome and my favorite. Though you were not on my team, I love you just as much as any of the other teachers I've had this year. I remember on the first day, I put on an adjective that described me as Loud Sadie. Looking back, I realized you were probably pretty confused. I realized I may not have lived up to my name very well, but then when I did, it was because of you. You're the best at bringing out the loud and happy in people. I also appreciate how you cared about outside of class things, which, like what I wanted to be in movies. When you asked me what I wanted to be, I was really caught off guard. Most of the time, teachers don't ask that, so it was nice to be able to talk about it. Another thing is how well you get people to participate. From the first day until now, wow, has there been a change. On the first day, we all kind of knew each other, but we were really quiet. But as the days went by, for some odd reason, maybe magic, maybe your teaching style, we all opened up and had a really great class. Alden, overall, you were one of the best teachers I've ever had. That being said, please go into teaching. It's a really good match for you. Thank you so much for a wonderful summer, Sadie. I'm going to tell you the truth. I faked it till I felt it in geometry. I struggled through that class because it had been a while and it was proofs. It was hard, but that class was amazing because we bonded and we became a family. So to wrap this up, I just want to say that I want to be y'all. I went into this program not sold on teaching. I didn't want to teach. I didn't want to be in the classroom. I didn't think it was worth it. Teachers aren't really that respected, I feel like, in society. And I was just like, no, I want a good, like, people are going to respect me when I say my occupation. But Sadie and the kids that I taught this summer are worth it. Like, it's so worth it. I'm jealous because you have the power to influence and to love and to make someone feel so much better about themselves and to feel important and valued. So as you go into this year, I just really hope that you remember how influential you are. I mean, I've experienced it, obviously, in the way that I taught. I had you guys reflecting on me. But thank you for being a really great family and for helping me and supporting me in my decision to do this. I know Miss Taylor, I didn't do half her projects at the end of the year because I was working on my application, and she was fine with that, and I appreciate that.
But she was also doing all the stuff.
Yeah, but I just want to thank you guys for that, and just I hope you have an amazing year. I know that you're about to do some not so fun PD, but it's worth it in the end for the people that you're going to inspire and influence. And so thank you so much for being that to me, and I hope you can be that to other people this year. And I love you guys so much. Greater pride.